another record-breaking performance for Harvard Track and Field. It was great to see all of our student athletes performing well, both on the track and in the classroom. Obviously, the standouts, that starts with our leadership, the captains, from Autumn Franklin and Paige Koba on the women's side to Tom Purnell, James Lim, and Andrew Roney on the men's side. They were outstanding leaders for us, both in their performances athletically, but also what they did off the track. When I think about standouts for the year, Miles Marshall on the men's side as a freshman did some outstanding things, rewrote a number of records, but I think also really started to lay the groundwork for what I think is going to be a very bright future. On the women's side, it's kind of hard to narrow down, but Autumn Franklin and what she was able to do, not just as a senior, but over the course of her 4 years, winning every Ivy League championship in the short hurdles, both indoors and outdoors, 8 total, and then finally getting her premier event, the 400 hurdles, the first time at Outdoor HEPS was pretty cool to see. But then I have to also mention, Nikki Akwilogu and Gabby Thomas had outstanding years too. They were both record-breaking seemingly every time they were out there. And it's great to see them competing at such a high level, and looking forward to seeing them continue on this summer. I think what it means to have so many student athletes competing at the Olympic trials is that we've arrived on a national stage. We have student athletes like you mentioned, Efe Uefo and Nikki Akwilogu competing at national and international competitions, and to see that here at Hayward Field out in Eugene is also great to have our student athletes represented at the U.S. Olympic trials. I think for us to continue to excel at this level, the key is coaching is really making sure we're focusing on the process and emphasizing with our student athletes doing things correctly and with focus and with energy and excitement, and it just sort of almost builds on itself. When I think about what goes into the dominance that we've been able to see at the HEPS level, a lot of it has to do with this sort of team culture and holding each other accountable, the work ethic, the commitment to excellence that our student athletes really embody. I think the emotion that comes to mind when I think about us being ranked 10th in the nation is that we've arrived. That this is a signal that Harvard Track and Field is serious. We truly embody competitive excellence while also still performing in the classroom. I take just as much pride in our success academically, how many seniors we had that wrote thesis this year. Those are things that are also really important to me, and I think really sort of embody what Harvard Track and Field is about.